Yo, yo, my sovereigns, what up? This is Boba Fett, uncensored on the internet, with episode 106 of Splinterlands 101. I'm coming at you from Cusco in Peru at 6 o'clock in the morning. Joining me, of course, finest gentleman who ever lived, Matt Clark.
Howdy.
So how come you get to keep your regular time slot and I'm the one that's getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning? How did that happen?
That's a really good question. I guess you were the one gallivanting off to all flying. Yeah, I don't know, Bob. If it doesn't work for you though long term, we can always switch it up a little bit and move it around. But I mean, you're still not finished moving, have you? You're in Peru.
Yep.
I'm getting a real Dora the Explorer vibe off you. Yo, it's Dora, and your swiper comes and all of the Dora the Explorer vibes all through South America. So you're in Peru now. Then you're heading to. You're going to hang around in Peru for a while, and then you're heading to Colombia.
Yep.
And then I've just talked you into going to Panama to see the seasteaders.
We'll see.
El Salvador, going to see Bitcoin Beach in El Salvador, El Zonte, and then eventually head up to Mexico.
We'll see what happens. I mean, that's the beauty of this. It is all unplanned. I haven't got any flights booked beyond Cusco. So the general part is Cusco, then to Colombia, catch up with Eco Instant, then to Guatemala, catch up with Bitcoins, and then on to Mexico. But anything could happen in the middle of that. So my auto zoom camera thing is really Zoom. It doesn't like Zoom. So it works on every other application, but keeps zooming in on me and zooming out. But I mentioned earlier I had my big jet lag crash yesterday and slept for about 12 hours. So I think I'm adjusted into local Cusco time now. And I got up this morning, went downstairs into the kitchen, the hostel I'm staying, and I was just scraped enough instant powder for a coffee. So as soon as we're done here, I'm going out to get some coffee. But that is the totality of my plans for today, is to go and get a coffee somewhere. Yeah.
No, nice position to be in. Are you going to be all right with? Because I know you've got a lot of students that you teach English to. Are you going to be all right with the change of time zones there as well? Like, are they going to be expecting you at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, the usual time, or how does that work?
So one of the time slots I used to do is 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., which is exactly the time that we're doing now. So I'm going to keep that slot. So I'll be getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning just to do an hour, so I can keep those regulars from the time zone that I was in, and then I'll jump on and do 2, 3, 4 hours during the day in local time to pick up some new people. But I don't mind getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's not a problem. Yeah. I mean, worst case, I can just get up at 6, do an hour, and go back to bed.
Are you ever going to come back to Australia? And I understand completely if the answer is no.
Well, I don't have plans to, but never say never. I don't know. I mean, we're living in a very unstable world at the moment. All sorts of stuff's going on. I heard on the news this morning when I got up on Triple J, because I still got Triple J streaming, and there's riots or something in Papua New Guinea. It's a little closer to home in Australia. Yeah, it was just on the news this morning, so I think it's something new.
Do we know what they're writing about?
It did say, but I can't remember. There's something to do with work conditions or something, I think.
It's rare to see international news in Australia. I look at things like the tunnel under the synagogue in New York, and then the farmer protests in Germany, massive farmer protests in Germany going on at the moment. And your average Australian has no idea. They're not putting it on 7, 9, 10, ABC, nothing. It's just a minutia from Australia. We're an island. We're certainly acting like it.
Yeah. Well, even during the pandemic, some of the horrors that went on here, it was international news. Everyone around the world knew what was going on here, but no, it wasn't. It wasn't on the news in Australia.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you arrived safe, mate. I'm glad I'm assuming the circulation's just come back to your bum now in the last hour or so, after the big long flight.
Yeah.
Good that you're able and arrived safe, and the adventure's just beginning, really, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the whole time zone thing really messes with you, but technically, this is only my second day in Peru. So, yeah, I haven't completely adjusted yet, I guess. I'm still a little bit out of sorts. I mean, physically okay. I had no problems with the altitude at all. Some people, like the first time I was in Peru, when I was in Puno, I had a really bad headache for about 12 hours until that
Mhm.
subsided. But this time I had no problems at all, other than the obvious being out of breath when you're walking around. Because Cusco, the streets are all like this. Yeah, it's up and down, up and down. So some footpaths are actually steps. So yeah,
Okay, wow.
it takes it out on you. You got to like yesterday when I was walking around, the main area in Cusco is La Plaza de Armas. We've got all of the old style cathedrals and old world architecture, Bejangles, Wascally Wabbit. You'd love this stuff. Um, yeah, but yeah, I'd have to sit down every now and then, just sort of get my breath back, have bottled water in my pocket everywhere I go. Because dehydration's a thing here as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
and even now this here we are, we're recording Splinterlands 101. I've got no idea what's going on right now in the universal Splinterlands. Uh, Between airports and leaving Perth to get back to my all up, I guess I've been traveling for 30 hours. Um,
Yeah.
and I let all of the guild, because I'm in different guilds. I've got one guild for my bronze account, for silver account, and my gold account. So I've let all the guild leaders know I'm skipping this brawl, because I don't want to put a team in and then not, or grab a fray and not get to put the team in, because I'm all over the place with times. We were talking earlier. I had to relearn when to reset my focus, because in Melbourne it was 11 o'clock in the morning. And as it turns out here, it's what would we say, 6 o'clock in the evening is reset focus time. So yeah, I'm going to have to get you to take the lead on what's happening. I haven't seen any town halls. I haven't been in Discord. I've literally been out of the loop of everything for 30 hours.
Well, you've missed virtually nothing. There's been no town hall. The next one is not for like another week. So Yabba was going to host one, and he said, no, we're going to hold off a little bit longer, and then we're just going to do them once a fortnight. So the next one is January 19th. So you've missed no town halls. I have been struggling as well, to be honest, to keep up with stuff. I've watched a few of Aftersound's videos on YouTube, and he's been really, really well across it. But no, I think all the focus has been on the Bitcoin ETF. Gary
Yeah, that's
Gensler is, the SEC's, they've tweeted, yeah, it's going to be approved. Yeah, we've approved it, and then no, we lost control of our account. And then, like 24 hours later, actually, yeah, we are approving one. It's just, you think these are the people that are trying to control, say that, oh, we should be in charge of crypto. We should be in charge of currencies. We should be in charge of, and you can't even control your own Twitter account. Oh, either that or it was, market manipulation, which is, even worse. We're here to prevent people from manipulating markets, but we ourselves are manipulating markets. So it's been, just been surreal, this whole thing. But yeah, it's done. So now the big weight's on for Ethereum ETFs. I'm not huge on US economics, how it all works, but a lot of the people that I follow are very, very excited about the ETF and what it means, mostly for price action. There's a lot of people concerned about centralization, that this is too big a move towards centralization, and that we'll lose the spirit of what Bitcoin is, and it'll just be the rich guys getting richer. But I think it's been one of those situations where if it does moon, if it does spike, particularly with the halving only less than 100 days away, if it does spike, well, I guess the people that were there for it, the people that sort of bought and held and all of that, that's their big payday. And I've still got my my personal dream, which again is really harsh, and I don't know. I don't not sure I wish this out loud, but there's a part of me that thinks that all of Satoshi's dormant coins, all of his tokens that he's left there and hasn't moved in 8 years or what have you, I can kind of imagine a scenario where all of the big players, the BlackRocks and all of your big institutional players finally decide, okay, Bitcoin is the future. They all pile into Bitcoin. They burn through political capital, fiat capital, everything they can to amass this huge pile of Bitcoin, and then Satoshi dumps everything and buys his top 100 alts. That would be in the spirit of decentralization.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say kill your darlings. I could see that being, that would be, Bitcoin was like the caterpillar. The real decentralization is the butterfly that comes when when Satoshi dumps everything, and then the master plan hits the big button. Again, I'm not saying that will happen, and a lot of good people would get burnt if that happened. There's a lot of great people that just want Bitcoin, and so that would obviously be terribly detrimental to them. But for humanity, that would be insane, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing like that. Nothing like that as far as outcomes for everybody.
Yeah.
So
Be a chapter out of Asimov's Foundation with Harry Seldon like plotting down the track, and it's like, yeah, Bitcoin's just a step, because he knew eventually all of these big guys would get in, and then let's just kill them all. And those who have been in part of the journey, they'll have some alts. It could. Bitcoin is not the final point. It was just like a trap to get that. They knew that, because on numbers, like Harry Seldon's mathematical formula, it makes a lot of sense, even though it was a fictional work. But Asimov was quite a switched on guy, and he was part of the in the know in quite a few areas. So yeah, it is an interesting side analogy with Foundation and the crypto's journey.
Punishing them for their arrogance, right? For the arrogant way that he must be dead. I mean, if he hasn't touched his money in 8 years, I've got my podcast on, darling. If he hasn't touched his money in 8 years, right? Then did I say he hasn't touched his podcast? If he hasn't touched his money in 8 years,
You did,
might have to,
yeah.
might have to get you to edit some of this. Sorry, Bob. Amanda's she's had a little bit.
But when you said podcast though, I mean, I remember for ages you kept saying radio. I'm doing my radio show. So you've caught up with the terminology now for podcast.
Yeah. I forgot where I am now. Okay, right.
Satoshi hasn't touched his money for 8 years.
Yeah. So the arrogance of the position, this guy hasn't touched his money for 8 years, he must be dead. And then he says, no, I'm not dead. I've had them all along. They've all been under my control, and I'm dumping. I could see that being an interesting outcome.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if that'll happen, but yeah.
Well, it's like we really don't know. My big thing, of course, is history. I've been rediscovering history, the lies that we've been taught versus what's going on, and the more you delve into these topics, the more we have no idea, and we're literally a raft at sea without a sail or a rudder, thinking that we're in control. But it just takes one event, and look at the whole scamdemic. One event that in our scope of things was unknown or unplanned, but I'm still pretty sure there's a controlling group, and not necessarily like the evil Illuminatis or whatever, but even something beyond them as well that is guiding our direction that we go, because there's been telltale signs of that along the way as well.
They say what's chaos for the fly is just lunchtime for the spider.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Actually, one thing I did do when I was at Lima, I had nearly 5 hours to wait for my plane to Cusco. So I just grabbed some coffees at a cafe that had a plug-in for laptops and stuff. And I checked in on my Splinterlands, I claimed, I opened my chests and all that stuff, and thought, I better check my land. And sure enough, everything was at 100%. I don't know how long it had been at 100%.
Yeah.
So I harvested. I keep doing that. It's like 3 times now, I think. I've gone to check my land and everything's already at 100%. But yeah, other than that little check-in in Lima, that's the only Splinterlands I've been doing. So yeah.
Yeah, like I say, there's not been a great deal going on. All the focus has been elsewhere. So we've not been. Yeah, just trying to think. There's a proposal passed, but I can't think of what that was now offhand. Yeah, I've been sort of looking at, like I say, just that broader, like what's going on with the world, what's going on with the crypto world. The farmers' protests in Germany is huge news at the moment. The synagogue tunnels in New York.
So I don't know
Also,
anything about either of those two things.
oh wow, okay, yeah. So it's amazing what goes on in the news and what's not. So it's like you remember the Canadian trucker convoy during the COVID silliness.
Yep.
Well, similar, but looks like it's much larger in Germany. That they're doing it, jacking up the taxes on diesel, and I think they're also doing other anti-farmer things. So the farmers have just descended on Berlin en masse, tens of thousands of tractors, and it's a huge but well organised protest of people that are just fed up. They're fed up of the climate change rubbish. They're just fed up with it all and just bringing parts of Germany to a standstill. So that's been fantastic. But I look at Javier Milei in Argentina, what's going on over there. I believe he's got a friend in Chile who is Chile, who is
Chile.
starting to poll really good, really solid numbers. So there's a lot to be positive about in the world at the moment. I'm just really finding that it's like an exciting time.
And what's these tunnels in New York?
So it's under a synagogue, and there's a fight broke out between two factions of they're the ultra orthodox Jews. You know, the guys with the curly black and the hat
Yeah.
and all of that, and they apparently I think their story was that the tunnels were to congregate during the COVID silliness when they weren't allowed to congregate. They dug these tunnels underneath the synagogue so that they can access the. But who knows? I mean, the footage I've seen suggests tunnels that are much older, but it's some sort of network of tunnels underneath this synagogue in New York. So it's really interesting that it's there's plenty of video footage come out, and there's been a dozen arrests or something by the NYPD. So it's not just some random conspiracy; it's actually happening and going on. Footage of an ultra orthodox Jewish fella just popping up out of a sewer and then just sprinting away like a ninja turtle. So the memes have been hilarious. And again, I don't know what's going on over there. I don't pretend to know who's running what and who's in charge of all of that. I like everybody, and I just hope we can all get along. So I don't have any thoughts on who runs the world, but this has been a really interesting, I guess, few days.
Yeah.
But not just that, like I said, the German farmers, the Bitcoin ETF, Javier Milei is absolutely, he came out the other day and said, tore strips off governments of the world. He said, we need to leave the UN. The UN needs to be defunded. It needs to go away. Mr. Beast has done more for poor people in the last 2 years than the UN's done in the last 7. And he's done it all for free of his own charitable, and just come out strong in support of Mr. Beast and just slamming governments all around the world and, the UN specifically.
Yeah.
So when I look at that and I look at what's happening in El Salvador with the Bitcoin adoption over there, when I look at the potential in Chile, and when I look at, again, and I've mentioned this before, HBD adoption in Sucre in Venezuela, I feel like you're in exactly the right spot for where this really gets interesting. right up through to and I know that's also HBD adoption in Mexico too, right the way through South and Central America. I can really see this being the new renaissance, right? The birthplace of this new thing. And it won't take long for other countries to start adopting whatever works, right?
Yeah.
But this whole freedom, I mean, El Salvador, Nayib Bukele got all this lip from CNN and all sorts of different outlets when he adopted the Bitcoin standard. Of course, any time that Bitcoin goes down slightly, then they're on him. They're on him like just like on flies on shit. Oh, you
Yeah.
wasted your.
Well, it's the
He'd
same with
actually
our
wasted
social
it.
circles, isn't it? Every time Bitcoin, they go, oh, there you go, Matt. We told you. We told you.
And 10%, and everyone just vanishes. But not just that, like he's the president, right? If he'd have wasted it all on just pissed it all up against the wall, no one would have said a word. But because he bought Bitcoin with it and it went down 5%, now they're all, ha ha ha, look at you, you wasted that money. It's like, no, you guys are actually wasting money. You built a new stadium that nobody ever wants to go to. You built a housing complex that no one's ever going to live in. You guys waste all this money. He's actually gone and been clever. And of course, now it's started to really jump, pop, and we've got the halving coming up and the ETF. El Salvador could be very easily become the next Hong Kong, Singapore, and of course, then they all just shut up about, oh, let's not talk about El Salvador now. Just not. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Until they're all multi-squillionaires and the streets are lined with gold. Then when there's a 2% dip, they'll be like, sucked in. It's all just yeah. And people aren't falling for it anymore, and that's great.
Yeah.
I love to see so many people now.
Well, I mean, you look at Dubai. It was built with oil. So why can't an equivalent be built with Bitcoin? Same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they don't point the finger and laugh at Dubai every time there's a dip in the price of oil, which per barrel.
no. It's people just being left alone, right? That's where Venice came from. Venice just they said, "Oh, we just need to escape from the rules that are just destroying our livelihood and our ability to trade with each other." So they just built on a marshland, built buildings on a marshland, and that became the center of trade in Europe for 500 years. It
Yeah.
was just insane, and that's what you need. And this is one of the reasons I'm so keen on seasteading and again crypto. It's if you take the control away from the controllers, you can actually build something really really new and unique and interesting. And that's again one of the reasons that crypto specifically, but Splinterlands too, like Splinterlands, crypto generally, Splinterlands specifically, it is just such a cool use case for the technology.
Yep.
Blockchains are just an uneditable record of the past, right? That's literally the selling point.
Hmm.
It's a record of the past, can't be edited. I post a transaction to the chain. 3 seconds later, that's it. It's there forever.
Yep.
I can amend it afterwards. A year later, I can come back and correct a spelling mistake or something. But anyone who looks at the front end will see the corrected spelling. But you can always go back and check the chain and see the original, and then see the exact moment when I changed it. And so the fact that we have an uneditable record of the past is a brilliant way to build a game like this. A brilliant way to build a trading card game. It's really just, I mean, making it interesting and engaging and fun for those people that want to play. But I kind of feel like we've got such a good value proposition and we've been going for so long now that when somebody arrives and they look at it and say, oh, that's a Ponzi scheme, it'll just collapse. You say, well, hang on, no, we didn't collapse. We've gone 5 years without collapsing. Right, so it's not a Ponzi scheme. No Ponzi scheme lasts 5 years. That's not how it works, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. They always collapse. They always fall in a heap. It hasn't, because it's a viable project.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many different stable coins out there. There's different people have different ideas about how to back things and how to algorithmic stable coins, and we hold this much reserves of this, so we can always guarantee, and there's all these different things being tried. Like Matt said, this is the only product-backed stablecoin of which we're aware. As long as there's continuing demand for Splinterlands products like Rebellion packs and the off-brand, not the off-brand, like Rift Watches. As long as there's demand for those assets to be bought from the company, they filter that demand through DEC, and that pushes the price up, and it's brilliant. So we haven't had a great time. I'm just looking at the price now. So
Three
just over 3
cents
cents.
SPS. Yeah, last video we did, it was 3.8. Now it's 3.
Yeah.
So
we've lost a big chunk in the last. We've lost almost a quarter in the last week.
why do you think
which
that
is
is?
obviously no idea. I think maybe, and just speculation, but I think that there might be people holding a lot of liquid who wanted to get in expecting this Bitcoin ETF, and they wanted to move into Bitcoin, so that then when buy the rumor, sell the news, when the ETF is announced, then it's like, okay, well, let's maybe leave it in there for the halving. When they feel like Bitcoin's hit its hype peak, then move across into the alts. Because I always use the example of a 16x, right? I think a lot of the guys who are looking to move into Bitcoin, I always think of it as a 16x. So they're thinking, if I can hold Bitcoin while it goes 4x, and then get out and move into alts before they then go 4x, one alt or several, then I've gone 16x, which is an insane amount of money. So there's a lot of guys looking for that, although they're looking for 3 and 3. That's still 9x, right? That's almost 10x. So it's about, everyone's got their idea about how long do they stay in Bitcoin before they move across into the alts. Some people are happy with 2x. Some people are happy with 50% gain and then move across into the alts. It depends on the alt, depends on the person. So I always see that SPS, I can feel like it's a bit of the tide going out as people that want to try and do that sell their SPS to move into Bitcoin in anticipation of the CTF news and the halving. And then whenever those people are feeling like Bitcoin's kind of hit its peak, that's when they'll move back into SPS to try and catch, and in the same catch that wave, but also cause that wave, right? So they're kind of pushing the price up because there's so many of them all doing it at the same time, or they're doing it so heavily. So I always picture that 16x as that's the goal for a lot of people that speculate. Me, I just hold, just find a good project and hold because I know what it's like. I'm going to go to bed, and then I'm going to wake up the next morning when I plan to buy in. It's too late; it's already gone.
Yeah. So what's it going to take, just even for SPS, to get back to 3.8 that it was last week? What
I
kind of
think 5
market
cents.
action?
I think 5 cents isn't far off. A couple of people have said, and I can kind of understand this. A couple of people have said, if you look at the winnings as underpinning the value of SPS, like if you look at the winnings as being a reason that people want cards, if you look at the Chaos Legion packs, and because they're still, check that recently today, where are we here? Chaos. Last I checked, they were still just under $1. I don't know what they're doing now, 95.5. So they're still just under $1. If it's that or sort of $4-ish for a Rebellion pack, people are generally going to go for the Chaos Legion, right? Because a win's a win. If you can get it with CL cards, right, at even 3 times as much money invested into CL cards as what you can with Rebellion, then there's not much point buying the Rebellion cards if you're looking for short-term returns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can spend $1 in a CL pack and win almost as much as you could spending $4 or $5 on a Rebellion pack, then the better ROI is with the Chaos Legion. So until these cheap Chaos Legion packs start leaving, it makes a lot of sense that people are likely going to just say, well, I'm not going to buy Rebellion yet. I'm going to throw my money at Chaos Legion. And without that demand for the product of Rebellion, then Splinterlands, the company, is kind of becalmed. It's in still water. There's no wind pushing them forwards, right? So they've kind of got to wait for the Chaos Legion. This is the point that Aftersound was making earlier, which was really interesting. I think it was Aftersound. While they're there, while those Chaos Legion packs are there, they're absorbing that demand for winning cards that can win me battles. And so that means that Rebellion isn't being sold. So DEC is struggling to hold peg because there's not that demand from outside money or even crypto or even Splinterlands assets moving into Rebellion packs. And without that sort of, at least sort of constant semi-regular demand for the product, our product-backed stable coin isn't actually stable anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
DEC. And so that's where the SPS burn stops, because people, rather than burning SPS to generate new DEC, just sell their SPS to buy DEC on the market because it's under the peg, right? And so that means that SPS burning slows right down, and then the emission's still happening, right? So SPS is still arriving, but people, instead of burning it, they're selling it now, which is
Yeah.
obviously bad for the price. So I think that's what's happening. But I also feel like when enough people feel like the Bitcoin rally is nearing its peak, and they start, even if they're not dumping everything, they just start to dollar cost average across into SPS, or back into Splinterlands with whatever tokens they think are a good purchase, then they're going to be moving into Chaos Legion packs. And I don't think there are that many at that cheap price, right? So when you start looking at the liquidity there, it's like, okay, yeah, I could buy, 100 packs or 200 packs, but beyond then, there's not many packs listed under $1, right? The Chaos
Mm-hmm.
Legion. And then it's not far before you're looking at $1.50, $2, and they're not printing anymore, right? So
Yeah.
when that supply gets eaten up and that demand starts lifting, by the time Chaos Legion's $2, then Rebellion starts looking like a better deal, because those cards are going to be in modern for longer than Chaos, right? So you got to remember there's upsides to that, as well as participating in the wagons, the conflicts, to get the new Rebellion airdrop cards, things like that. So Rebellion has a lot going for it. It's just that there's a big discrepancy between the price of Chaos and the price of Rebellion at the moment, and that's stopping that demand from hitting, going through DEC and into the company coffers. Instead, it's going over to tribal decks, and people are buying Chaos Legion packs, which can't last forever.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Even because that when my SPS unstaked and I went to burn it, it even gives you a pop-up on the site saying you'd be much better off selling. So, obviously I did that. Yeah.
It's just one of the many ways that the company looks after its players. It would be so easy to not put that pop-up up there.
Yeah.
And just say, well, caveat emptor, right? Like, yeah, but no, the guys could have said, oh, look, should we warn people that maybe they'd get a better ratio if they sold the SPS? Should we? No, you know what? They could have very easily said, no, we'll just let it happen if that's what they. But they don't do that, right?
Yeah.
They actually say, hey, we want to look after you. You're going to get a better return like this. So, yeah, I time and again, I just see that these guys are really above board. They're ethical. They're making the right plays, the correct plays. They're looking after their player base. They're thinking about the long term, and you see these random just shitcoin tokens just mooning out of the blue and then collapsing. And it's like, I don't want to play in that casino. I
Yeah.
want to be here.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing, should we play? You want a battle?
Yes. Let's. All right. See if I
You want to send me?
see if I still remember how to.
Now that you're rusty, let's battle.
Diamond Gladiators.
Bring it on. I got another Quora the other day.
Oh, nice.
I opened 3 Gladius cases, and I got 1 each of all 5 epics in
I
3
haven't
cases.
I haven't seen a Cora in quite a while, so well done.
Yeah. I still have to get another 3 before I get her up to level 3. So
Yeah.
I'm still at a massive deficit, but I couldn't believe that in 3 cases, all 5 epics, 1 of each. Okay, so we have 15 mana gladiators. So that means we can have up to 2
An
gladiators.
extra one,
In
yeah.
fact, if you use a gladiator summoner here, because you chose gladiator challenge
We can
and
have
the rule
2.
set and the summoner, we could theoretically have 3 gladiators in this.
Okay. But mana and the odds Um, that reduces as well because odd cards only.
Yeah.
Um, wow, this is really hard.
All right, let's do it. I'm all submitted. You're zooming in, zooming out. It's a Zoom call, I suppose. So
Yeah, it's because I'm leaning forward for the key. The auto zoom on my webcam does not like zoom at all.
very dramatic. Dun dun dun.
You guys hear me?
Hey, Gio,
Hey, Gio.
nice of
Hey,
you to join
See you,
us.
man. We just started playing.
I'm so sorry. I was playing a game with Knight and completely forgot.
No, it's good value. Does he want to come on?
He had to go to bed or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had to.
yeah, yeah. He's
Uh,
good people.
I was on with his mates and him just playing just shooter, and it was like it was fun as, and I just completely yeah. Anyway, I don't want to waste any of your time, but yeah,
All good, man. See,
You got,
when you're talking to him next, if he wants to come on the show.
yeah, I will.
you got
So
some light
we've
there,
got a
Gio. You're in the
15
dark.
round match. Oh, there we go.
Okay, my screen has glitched out. Let me refresh.
Yeah, that looks funky.
Okay, this is interesting. Ah, here we go. All
Uh,
right. All right.
I think I'm going to win, man.
What have you got
Numbers
here?
on rack. I keep trying to use him. I keep hoping, but it just never comes good, right?
But that's an expensive summoner for 15 mana. I was concerned just using um, Obsidian because I have Lyanna, but she's not leveled. So
I
Bob
was going to say,
could
yeah,
win
Vivian, you
this
don't
if he
do it.
poisons you.
yeah,
Yeah,
I like
true.
like a
True.
bit of poison on a low mana match. But
Yeah,
your is gold, or yeah, is gold. He's got a bit of life there, and he hits hard. There's opportunity.
yeah. Well, like Gio said, if your Uraeus can poison me, then that's going to suck. But when I get a bit of bloodlust from taking out your gladiator, I'll be up to 5 damage, so I'll be able to take out Uraeus in a single hit,
Mm.
which could then put me back up to a little bit higher health. Even if I hit Paladon just once, I think my other two guys could probably tidy him up, clean him up
Yeah,
before he gets too much momentum going.
yeah,
He's very slow and he doesn't have PS. Stun is handy, but
Yeah.
let's see what happens. I think I've got it though.
when did Isgol get piercing?
Level five,
Uh,
six.
Fine.
yeah.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He's
oh
so ridiculous.
yes,
Oh, and the miss. Okay, well, maybe I don't have it.
I've got it.
Okay, so I got the kill. There's
Maybe,
the stun.
maybe not because now he has a shield. So when
Yeah,
no, oh, oh no, the piercing.
yeah. Oh,
Wait,
the miss.
what?
I've got it.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Well done, Bob. Well done.
Nice,
That
nice.
That
that straight up poison did the damage. It
Yeah,
really did.
definitely, definitely.
And the stun.
man,
Yeah.
that turned out like I would have never expected.
It was an outlaw, wasn't it? That's good. That's what we're in it for. Uh, Gio, you good to play, man?
Of course.
You want to
Yeah.
take on the champ? You want to take on Bob?
Yeah, sure.
This is an
Send me.
inter-Pacific extravaganza now. Bob's in
Yes.
South America, so we're really, this is international rules now.
It is.
We've got to play for Australian pride, Gio.
I know.
We. Take on
Send
these
away.
foreigners.
Yeah. Am I sending to you or you
I'll
send?
do it.
Okay.
All right, sent.
Okay, accepted. And yeah, just got to put in the 5 keychain. And yes, we're in. Ah, cool.
Well, at
Silent
least got
summoners, explosive, and armored up.
at least
Okay.
got some mana to play with this time.
Yeah. Hmm. Man, it feels like forever since we've played this, like manually, like versing each other.
It has been a while.
Yeah. Uh, huh.
That's the proposal I was talking about. Just while you guys are picking teams, I did mention there was a proposal that passed, and it was a decrops collaborative event.
Hmm.
But somebody mentioned it wasn't a particularly ambitious proposal. It was for like $1 or something. It was worth 1,000 DEC. Yeah, limited edition NFT, taking DEC, PEG. Okay, decrops collaboration. I tell you, I like the idea of decrops. I never really engaged with it, but
Yeah,
they've got some longevity there, right? Like it's going,
yeah,
it's
for
still
sure.
going.
Yeah, I heard about that proposal. It seems like there's no risk on the Splinterland side of things, so
Mm.
you know, why not? Like, uh, okay. Look, yeah, I'll put in. Hmm.
It's CISPA. Never forget. It's CISPA.
That's great. All right. You sharing? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just see how it goes. Um.
Mm.
Huh. Huh. Eh. Right.
I think I might have this.
Uh, I, I just think you haven't brought Reflection Shield. That's all I can think of.
I think the Resurrect on Curl Lurker that Geo's brought in might be the difference.
Two
Although there's
Resurrects.
Resurrect. Yeah, there's 1 versus 2 Resurrects. Yeah. It's going to depend on where those Chaos Dragons hit, right?
Yeah,
Like it's
Yeah.
just the RNG hit.
absolutely.
And I could actually lose my gladiator here just from blast.
Yeah,
So
I'm leaning
let's
towards Geo, but I thought I was going to win the last one. So
Yeah,
never bet against Bob. I suppose is the moral of the story.
it's yeah. He comes in
Tide
clutch, man.
Biter was a good choice there. I never thought of the
Yeah,
reflection shield. Yeah.
always
Mm.
Reflection Shield, man.
Yeah, I think your gladiator when they're like support gladiators, they're so less likely to actually take a scalp and start
Mm.
building the bloodlust.
Yep. There goes my gladiator.
Ah, there it goes. And the ooh,
Yeah.
that was a good hit.
Mm.
Oi, you revived the glad. Oh no.
It's insurance. Two resurrects. You got insurance. If one of them gets taken out, the other one his mate resurrects him. So
Uh,
There goes my Agor. My Agor missed yours, but yours hit. That was
yeah,
rigged.
yeah, really, very.
yeah, well, Quicks isn't actually doing anything. So silent summoners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just went with the cheapest summoner
Yeah,
because it was silent summoners.
that's where I love having a PJ because that's always the right choice in silent summoners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two
Well,
two
that's an
mana.
absolute
None of
caning.
them-
Yeah, I didn't really lose anything.
All right. Well, should we play round robin? Gio, you want to
Yeah,
send me a
absolutely.
request?
Of course I do. Ah, this has been so long. Uh, Yeah, there you go.
We've
So
had a
it's
lot of
diamond
good.
gladiator cards. Cool. Let's do it.
Yeah. Normally, by the time we sort of get to know somebody and we have a bit of a chat, it's like the show's over. So it's rare to battle nowadays.
It
Well, we've
is.
had some pretty amazing guests, and it's just like battling with people like that. It's a complete waste of the
Yeah,
resource of having them on the show. So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Flowey 3 times in a row. That was fantastic.
that was
So
good.
switched on.
Oh man, he's so cluey and just has his shit together. It's so refreshing to see.
Mm.
All right, I've sent the challenge.
Yeah, refreshed. I don't know what's going on at my end. Internet. Yeah, my
If
internet.
you want, you can send it to me. Um, Up to you.
Well, yours should pop up in a sec, I suppose.
Or you could just forfeit, Matt.
I can't see the I can't see the challenge yet, so I'm sure
Okay.
it'll pop up in a sec. We'll just,
I'll cancel or send again real quick. But, okay,
um,
yeah.
so I'm racing Blewett to 200,000 research points.
Hey, blew it.
Um, yeah, and I'm thinking I might win. I'm at
Uh,
186. Yeah, he beat me to 100,
yeah,
and so I said, "Oh, well, I'll race you to 200," and I'm at 186 because I've really
sweet.
thrown some stuff at research points, but I don't know where he's at. So I'm kind of looking for some way of looking up what other people have, because research points, if they're not all in the same region, you've got to kind of add them all together.
Yeah.
No, it appears there's been a delay in processing this transaction from the blockchain. Processing. Hang on, maybe.
I ended it. You can send it to me if you want.
Yeah, there's now I've got 2 pop-ups, 2 challenges.
Okay, now I've ended it.
Hang on, cancelled. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. All right, I'll send you a challenge.
Yeah, might just be me.
You can still show it on your screen, can't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, okay.
Yeah. And Diamond, Gladiator. I say in a Bob. Actually, this might have been when you were here. I got opened 3 Gladius cases and got
Uh-huh.
5 epics, one of each
Oh,
in 3 cases. What are the odds? I mean, I'd have preferred 5 Quoras, don't get me wrong, but 5 epics is still pretty great. Okay, so we have it worked. Everyone has Magic Reflect. We've got heavy hitters, so everyone has knockout. Mana cap's 30, and we've only got 3 splinters: water, death, and life.
yeah. It's a tricky one.
Yeah, nothing really jumps out at me.
No.
Like times when I see the rule set in mana cap, and I'm like, yes, I know exactly what I need to do here. That's when things are fun, but this is like,
Yeah, I feel the same. Okay. Man. This is so weird. Okay, there's a few things. Yeah. Whatever, I've submitted.
rare that I'm the last one to submit. Normally
Yeah,
I'm first.
you are. Usually you're like, yeah, okay, I know what's up. I know what I'm gonna do.
All right. Okay, all right.
Yeah, let me share screen. Let me do that proper thing. Should be. Okay, let's do it. Let's see.
Brutal.
Hey,
Just
hey,
did it.
Bob, you need.
Just did it. Just did it.
Yes, awesome. Perfect. Oh, okay. Let me bring up rule set. Sorry. And okay.
I'm
What
in
do we
trouble here,
reckon?
Geo. I'm in trouble. Your Isgard Vorst is going to start building momentum.
Possibly.
Reckon Falls.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see. Well,
Yeah, no, I don't see any way I win this, man.
I don't know. We'll see. Should we just play?
Yeah, play it, but
Uh, oh no, that T-Rex guy is pretty
yeah, he's brutal. He's
gnarly.
nuts.
Yeah.
That was a decent chunk out of Bactira. Because that's half the
Yeah, it
trouble when you got
was.
Bactira. Unless you're going around him, getting past, getting through him is
Mm.
ridiculous.
Problem is, I'm feeding his bloodlust. I'm feeding his bloodlust with all these
Oh
chickens.
yeah.
Look at that.
Oh,
That's ugly. That is ugly.
oh.
Oh, I
Oh.
can't look.
You got a
I'm
double
going
bloodlust
through.
then.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
that's the man.
Oh well.
I
Uh,
saw, I thought there's not much chance of magic. You're not probably not going to play magic. Zintar, you probably go melee heavy. Let's use Zintar. I'm not great with death. Let's give it a. And I'm right. I'm right. I was right. I'm not great with
Yeah, you're not great with that. Like, oh, you know what probably would have been a good choice? The deaf legendary summoner. I forgot his name. Anyway, Bob, am I sending to you?
I've already sent Matt one.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah. Let's do it here. Let's
That's
do it.
okay.
We're just going around in order.
Yeah, okay.
He's
Let's
picking
do
a weak link. That's the problem.
it.
And
Yeah.
plus I want to
Okay.
win.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just spurred me on
Uh,
to greater heights. Right.
uh,
Got a bigger chip on my shoulder. I don't know if I can achieve greater height. So we've got Thorns. Mana cap. Thorns is the only rule set. Mana cap's 35. Everything's available except death. So that should be an advantage to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, 35 mana, Thorns, everything but death.
so magic or reflection shield? One of the two. Oh, well, or ranged, I guess. I bought some Rebellion packs, but
Oh,
I didn't
really?
really get. Yeah, yeah, I bought seven. Yeah, eight. Um, I just bought them to get, my bronze account, up, whatever else. So it plays those. Can't hurt. All rares and commons and one epic. So yeah, no gold foils. Ah, the Chaos Legion luck has continued.
Do you open them or you just buy them?
I opened them, yeah.
Geo
On the
can't
Geotrix
hold
account.
packs.
Yeah, you know that. On the Geotrix account, yeah, just so it can play in bronze, just a bit more better. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But you're
Matt, I
saving on
found
points
out
when you do.
why I wasn't um, accumulating potions very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was in the settings. Mine was set, so I was using up all my potions
For
on
rewards.
my focus with rewards cards.
Yeah.
So I've turned that off. So my potions should actually start climbing now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe you should have kept it on. Now you have like half of your rewards cards got halfway in gold, and then now they'll start getting halfway in regular. No, it doesn't work that way. I mean, it does, but yeah, law of large numbers.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this layout. It looks like I might take out your resurrect guy first, which is my favorite way of doing things.
Oh, it's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, well, he's got Pierce, so he's going to take out my swiftness girl right up the back there,
Yes.
Strudel, which is scary. But I really feel like I think I've got this one. Yeah, I don't know. Oceanus has got his force field, which sucks because when I start building up momentum with, she's only going to be hitting him for one, sorry. But my lone boatman's going to be hitting him eventually for. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've got it, but we'll have a look. We'll have a see.
All right.
What do you think, Bob?
I'm going to go with me.
Okay.
Stranger things have
Because
happened.
why not?
We're not
If you don't,
indeed.
if you don't believe in yourself, then you can't expect other people to.
That's
Ooh,
fair.
that shatter hurt.
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. It's
Oh
not looking so
no.
good now.
Oh no.
Why did I
Oh,
think Vorst was gonna? Oh,
Piercing is
okay. Yeah.
and it was a
I was thinking
demoralize.
for some
Yeah,
reason I
I just
thought
need
Vorst
another
was.
bloodlust. That's all. I just need another. Yep, there we go. I've got it. I
no,
have got it.
but
I've got it.
Yeah, you
I
do.
don't know. Yeah?
The Force Field's just Force Field on O'Shannis is just I can hit him all day and not get through it because everyone's doing 5.
And now
Oh,
Silver
come
Okay.
on.
Shield doesn't get a shot.
What?
Yeah.
As if, as if, as
Yeah. Who would have seen that, right?
what is that?
That's great.
The
That
two
well done, Bob.
misses.
All
Well
right.
done,
So
Bob.
I'm
O'Shannis
feeling
not there was
confident
great.
enough to play Geo now. So
Okay.
send it away, Geo.
Yeah. My pleasure. Okay. Diamond Gladiator cards. Yes. That's it. Oh, that was wild. What was
Yeah.
that? The results flip me out in this game, man. That's the best part. The RNG is the game. All right. Let's get that. Let's get
You
that
play out the
clear.
rest of the match in your head, and most of the time you're right, but occasionally you just get it. Yeah, great.
Yeah. That's beautiful. All right. What are we gonna do for this one? There's a few things, but I don't have my mind set on one thing. I just sort of clicked the first splinter that I saw. Ah, man. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Let's do it. Man. Let's hope I don't feed any gladiators. That would be nice. Okay, I've submitted. This is a weird one. I've used a rebellion card as well. I think it's
Ooh.
brilliant. Yeah, it's a starter card too, by the way. But you will see why it may be pretty cool to use in low in the slow rule set.
You're moving
Oh,
with the times, Gio.
yes, I am.
So
I'm
I've
doing that.
Whoa.
still
I'm going for the
I've got that
going
one
for the
that I
dinosaur stuck
bought,
in his ways.
the Rebellion Summoner I bought on the last episode. That's on my
Yeah.
silver account. So
All right, what's going on here?
Geo loves his Grum. Geo loves his Grum.
Yeah, yeah, I do. That's it. That
So
is it.
why do you like it? It's only got 2 health, only attacks for
Yeah,
1.
yeah, I know. It's 2 speed and it's got fly, so I'm hoping that like it dodges a lot. You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah,
But
that's the
yeah, does that sandworm have snare, or is it not high enough level?
nah.
No. Okay.
No, it's only dodge and snake. Oh, but he's getting dodge from Astral. Sorry, this is one of my recent purchases, the Astral.
Mm.
So I bought
Yeah, it's good
Persiblis and
value.
Astral with that SPS that I unstaked. So
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
got
Big
just
Jungles
in
will be proud of
time
you.
at 3.8 cents when I bought deck. So yeah, but then I broke it. Completely broke
I
SPS.
always struggle. I always struggle with Bloodlust in reverse speed matches because you know that
Yeah,
the
you
I
more
can't.
know.
they kill,
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
the
I
higher the
know.
so
chance of missing.
Yeah.
But Bob has chosen 2 4-speeds as well, so maybe all right.
Yeah, I think you'd be okay. I'm going to give this one to Geo.
Okay.
Not that it's up to me.
Well, if I can get through Grund, but my concern is straight away giving him Bloodlust. But let's see. Yeah.
And your problem is
Miss.
as your Mata improves. So Trap Falloway is going to get faster and faster. He's going to get more chance to miss.
Speed is such an RNG thing in this game, though, that relying on speed for your team play has often been fatal for me.
Mhm.
Poison. Yeah.
Yeah, Grum's still got a lot of health though.
And more bloodlust. Yeah, he's got 2 bloodlusters left. I'm done.
Yeah. Yep. Wow. That was brutal.
Yeah. Not as brutal as the last game of Geo, though. That was a shocker. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, that was good.
All right. We don't have enough time for another game.
Oh
So
wow.
because you missed the first half, Gio, anything you want to like bring up? Anything happen? Anything new?
Nah,
You
I'm
mentioned
just
you bought
sorry
some
that.
Rebellion packs.
Oh yeah, I bought several Rebellion packs, but they're all like rares and all commons and 1 epic. But hey, it's okay. It feeds the bronze account, and I'm happy with that. So for me, it's like not a loss. I don't feel bad about it because like those accounts can use it, right? And it's only 1 BCX, right? So I don't have to worry. Like, yeah, I'm not trying to max out here and spend like $50, $60, $80 on one card. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind taking my chances in the beginning on a few packs every month.
Yeah.
Just buy like a few.
Because I'm at that point now, the opposite with my Chaos Legion packs.
Hmm.
I think it's a waste now for me to open Chaos
Open
Legion
them.
packs. Right
Mm,
now, I'm better off buying the cards that I need. Because, like
yeah,
you said before, they were feeding my alts, especially
yeah,
my bronzes. But now I've got a lot of my
they're up.
bronze cards are maxed for bronze.
Mm,
And likewise, so yeah, I think now that I'll be better off buying the Chaos Legion cards that I need rather than opening packs. But
mm.
I do have quite a few packs.
Do you want to open one?
No, no.
Two, just
So
one.
I've got 30
Oh, I
Rift Watchers
see.
and 40 Chaos Legion.
That's
So
nice.
I will open some more Rift Watchers at some point, but I think for now that's my hodl. I might buy 10 more Chaos Legion
Yeah,
packs just so it's an even number, and then I'll just
yeah.
hodl 50 packs.
Yeah, and I see why you didn't want to open a pack because you don't have the potions for it yet.
Well, it's not that. It's just I'm no longer feeding my alts.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm just going to keep, if I keep opening packs, I'm just going to keep getting cards that aren't, uh, I mean, sure, great. Every now and then I get a legendary um, but at this point, I think it's better to buy the cards that I need.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I
But
will be
yeah,
opening some Rift Watchers at some point.
we have to see that. I love Rift Watchers. It's like some really good cards in there, hey? Like some of
Yeah.
the best cards.
Because
What
all my
else have I
Rift
been?
Watcher cards at the
Mm,
moment are all on my alts because they're not high enough for my goals. So it'd be nice to level some
mm.
of them as well. And we're going to
Oh,
get cut off by Zoom any second.
now we have
Um,
10 minutes remaining, right?
no, we have less than a minute.
It's okay. For me, it's glitched. It says 10. Anyway, yeah.
Okay. All right. So thanks for joining us on 106. Next week, we have a special guest. People will know joining us on the show. So we will see you then. Bye. Peace out.
Take care.